On a stormy August morning, my expedition and I awoke to start our quest to find the fierce grizzly that roamed the wild and free ranges of the Rocky Mountains. The morning started with the snap, crackle, and pop of a large bowl of rice Krispies, which satisfied the hunger of our food-craved group till we reached the door, when a loyal member of our group suggested that we go back and get some real food. Having our hunger filled, we started our journey into the thick underbrush. Our car just did make its way down the narrow path. As we made our way through, we come upon a long, narrow opening where we could see what looked like the darkened image of a bear cub. It must have been 700 yards down the path. We figured since it was only a bear cub, the mother bear had to be close by. We proceeded with the utmost caution and care not to scare the cub, not to mention arouse the attention of the mama bear. We moved to with me 200 yards where I decided to pull out my camera with the long lens to see if I could see for sure if it was a baby bear. Unfortunately, it was still in the shadows, and I could not tell what we really saw. We discussed our options and elected to go for the gold and continue. We only went another 10 yards when I realized that the youngest member of our group was missing. We waited for about 15 minutes to see if he had just fallen behind. That was not the case. We guess he just went back to the car, so we started our way down the path again. Just as we started down the path, something moved. We knew it was the moment of truth. I aimed my camera at what we believed was the bear cub, when out jumped the missing member standing on the object that we believed was the cub, only to our surprise. We had been stalking a tree stump for 2 hours. The messes up with the tree stump only made our desire to find this master of the mountain even more intense. Without hesitation, we continued our quest. We spent the next 4 hours crossing the mountain range on paths that our car could barely make its way through. The mountain range was the most magnificent place that I had ever been. The mountain peaks protruding above the tall pine tree and the cool, clear mountain streams made for a truly spectacular view and made the whole trip worthwhile. Even if we didn't find the great grizzly, as the day grew older, we were about out of time and ready to quit, and working our way back, we came across an open meadow. The meadow was a large clearing in the thick brush, with a clear stream following through. The tree line made a split scene between the cool stream and the towering peaks. Unsatisfied with the effort and being unable to get the photograph of a giant grizzly, I wanted to stop and take a photograph of the most dreams-like atmosphere of the open meadow. As I moved toward the trunk of the car, Russell, our eldest member, noticed that something was moving along the tree line. I put away my wide-angle lens back in the bag and grabbed the telephoto. After getting the lenses changed, we moved toward the object. Moved in about 100 yards when the creature moved out of the shadows. It was the great grizzly. We moved closer. I aimed my camera when out of the brush came 2 bear cubs. What could be better? I took a few shots when from behind us came the cry of an elk. The grizzly heard the cry and looked in our direction and saw us standing there. She stood on her hind legs. We knew that she would start in our direction to chase us away from her cubs. Our group ran back to the car. I just had to have this shot. I held my ground. She come down off her hind legs and started running at me. The sight of a grizzly running in my direction was a fearsome sight. I turned and ran. I knew the bear could run like lightning, and I was slower than a snail on grease. I could hear my group yelling from the car to hurry. They had the car running as I approached. They started the car moving, and the trunk was still open. I grabbed the inside lip of the trunk. The momentum of the car and the momentum of my body slung me around and into the trunk. We were able to drive to safety. The excitement of the day lasted through dinner and long into the night, leaving me with a new respect for the way of the magnificent range of the Rocky, its mountains, and the protective nature of the powerful creatures of the wild.